Hi, it's been nice having you here. We have come for another lesson today, and today we are going to be talking about the attributes of God as a sustainer of life. Okay, so we have learned that God created the world and everything that is in it, including human beings, plants, and animals. So, when you talk about attributes of God, what do we mean by that? Attribute simply means that there are some special names that we use to call God. There are special names that we call God with. We refer to God as those names. We use those names to replace God. Okay, so those are the attributes of God. Now, when we say someone is a sustainer, it means that the person will make sure that something continue to exist. The person is going to make sure that something continue to exist. Okay, so God as a sustainer of life takes care of the things he had created, including human beings, plants, and animals. Right. So let us look at some of the attributes that we use to call God, how we refer to God, the attributes we use in place of God. Okay, so we say that God is one, the giver of life. He is the giver of life. It means that He is the one who can make you live. Okay, if God does not permit it, you will not live. Okay, so He is the one who makes it possible for man, animals, and plants to live. Right. And then the second one is that God is the protector of life. He is the protector of life. This means that He is the only person or the only one, the only being who can protect you from danger, who can protect you from evil and other things. He can save you from temptations and all that. Okay, so He protects the life that you have. He is the protector of life. The third is God is God healer. He heals our sick. He heals us when we're sick. Whenever sometimes you may be sick and you may not even go to the hospital. By the time you realize you are okay again, it is God who heals our sicknesses. He heals our sickness. So we call him the healer. So the healer is the attribute, right? The healer is the attribute. Right. Another thing is he is the giver of light. The giver of light. When we were talking about God and the creation of God, we said that He created light, right? So here we are saying that God is the giver of light. He gives us light such as the sun, the moon, and the stars. He gives us the sun in the day, and at night He gives us the moon and the stars. Okay, so the sun that He gives us, it helps us to dry our clothes and then to keep our body also warm. Right, the fifth one is God is caring. God is caring because He cares about us. When we are going out, He's with us. When you are coming home, He is with you. Okay, wherever that you may be, you may find yourself, God is with you because He cares about you. Right. So when we look at the images there, we can see the sun, which He gives us during the day, and then the moon and stars that we get from God during the night. He is also the provider because He provides us with all our wants and our needs. He provides us with food, money, shelter, and other things. He is also the giver of rain. We know that we don't know where rain comes from, but we know that it is God who makes it rain. It is God who causes the rain to fall. Okay, so He's the person or the being that gives us rain. So He is the giver of rain. Another one is that God is generous. He is very, very generous. He is kind to everyone. He is also impartial and treats everybody equally. It doesn't matter your cultural background, your educational background, God treats each and every one of us equally because He is an impartial God. Right. God is also powerful. All powers belongs to God. Every power that is on this earth belongs to him alone. So we say that God is powerful. Also, God is all-knowing. Whatever we might even be thinking, God knows it already. That is why we say God is all-knowing. He knows what will happen tomorrow, today. Okay, so he's the only person who can tell us what will happen tomorrow, today. He can tell you today that tomorrow this will happen. In 5 years this will happen, because he is all-knowing. He knows everything that will happen and that has happened. Right. So we must learn to show some of the attributes of God. Some of his attributes like selflessness, caring, generosity, and impartiality. We must learn to exhibit some of these attributes. Right, so in the image right there, you can see the rain that is being given to us by God. Okay. The next one is that God is holy. God does not do bad things. God does not do bad things. So we say that he is holy. All the bad things that can come to your mind right now, God does not do such things. Okay? And then because of that, we say that God is what? Holy. Right. The last one is that God is the giver of strength. He makes us strong. Your life, the life of your parents, your teachers, your friends, your siblings, all of these things come from God. Okay, whatever that we have, whether wealth, whether belongings, whether some properties, they all belong to God. If God does not give it to us, we can't have them, right? So God is the giver of strength. Now, after knowing all these attributes, we must therefore fear God. We must love him and obey his words. We should always pray to God every day so that he helps us, because he's the only person who can help us. He's the only person who can help us. God has so many attributes. So we should try and exhibit some of these attributes, because we were made in his image. I hope you are going to exhibit some of these attributes at home. You should try to treat everyone equally. You should love everyone equally. You shouldn't be partial about anything. You shouldn't do bad things, because God does not do bad things, right? Okay, so this is the end of our lesson, and I hope I will see you soon. Bye.